Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to TED Talks Fall. Super excited to welcome Crystal Peachy B, Miss Peachy, you may know her as, at Crystal Peachy B on Twitter. You know her as the Wayne Breezy's manager for the Wayne Breezy Show, and she does a bunch of other shows as well too. We've done some shows together, some football, some basketball. Peachy is a big Lakers fan. I don't know if we've done one since the
No, I don't.
Lakers beat the Warriors. So
I don't think we've
congratulations
done one since
to your
then.
Lakers for beating the Warriors. I know neither team got it done, but you guys made it further. You guys made it to the conference finals,
We
Western
did.
Conference Finals.
We
So
did.
congrats on that, and
Thank you.
welcome. Yeah, tell everybody anything I may have missed, anything you got going on that you want to promote, anything like that.
Okay. As you know, I am the manager of the Wayne Breezy, so all of his content, everything he puts out, I manage that. I'm also a co-producer on a lot of things that we do, especially Nitty Gritty Niners. That's the main one that I do, but I also do co-produce the Wayne Breezy show that he does. Me and Breezy have a fantasy show that's coming that we're trying to get together so we can launch that.
Cool. That's
um,
exciting.
I have done fantasy football since I don't even know, probably when it first started. So I'm I'm pretty decent in it, and so we thought it's time for us to get together and bring a fantasy show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little bit different than other fantasy shows. You know, we got to put our spin on it and everything like that. So that's great. And I'm working on doing some shows on my own YouTube account, but right now I'm just trying to focus on getting this fantasy show up and running and things like that. So that's what we're doing, but that's what we do. I'm very excited about the season. So for the 49ers.
Yeah, me too.
That's crazy. Like I was already excited about my Lakers because I feel like we had like a pretty good off season. But I think I'm actually more exciting about these 49ers because I think it's going to be one for the ages, and I think it's going to take us all the way to the Lombardi this year. I just keep having that feeling, and I can't shake it that this is going to be the year. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go undefeated because you don't have to go undefeated, of course, to win a Lombardi. So I still have our basement at 12-5, and our ceiling like 14-3.
Wow, I like it. Optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was splitting the difference with you at first at 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're like minus 20 rest days this season,
Mm-hmm.
and there's at least three teams that are plus 12. So they have 32 more rest days in just a 4.5 month season. So that's a big disadvantage. We play four teams coming off of buys, and we
Mm-hmm.
travel the second most travel miles. So
Right.
because of that, I'm at your low end. I'm at 12-5 is sort of my realistic, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's 11-6. But just because of our tougher schedule too, is tougher than last year. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the team's better this year. I just think we have a lot more handicaps against us. But yeah, I think we could easily win a Lombardi this year, especially if we can get the QB
The
position
situation under
sorted.
control.
Yeah, but
That'd
let's
be
not
great.
dive right into that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But first, let's talk to some of our audience members. The chat is already
I
popping. We
see
got
that. That's great.
Fernando 49ers throwback in the house, giving us a wave. Welcome, Fernando. Tony Culp in the house. That's Brian's wife. She does great. Oh, she does the great women's panels.
Yes.
Um, and she's saying hi to Peachy. There you
Hey,
go.
Tony.
Fernando made it. We got Bryant, Tony's husband, who also does his own channel.
Hey, Brian.
And hey, Ted and Peachy, welcome, Bryant. Also, if you hadn't noticed, he's a pretty big. I'm blanking our kicker's name all of a sudden. I want to say Bryant Young, but that's not his name. It's Bryant Culp, and it's. Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. He had a 57-yard kick today. He did miss one today in
Oh, you talking
practice.
about Jake Moody?
Jake Moody,
Yes.
thank you. Wow, I don't know where my brain went there.
Yeah.
We obviously have Zane Gonzalez, who's pretty insane too. No, just kidding. He's not very good. But he's a camp body, that we have for free basically, and
Yeah,
we can
it's
cut him.
definitely just going to be Moody. Like Moody's
Yeah,
our kicker.
he's crushing it. He's doing
Oh,
great.
completely
I think
crushing it.
I think today was his first miss of training camp, and
Right.
he's booted a few. Bebop Jones in house coming to us from Bethlehem, PA, near Philly. He let me know that that's where the Golden Gate Bridge was forged. Pretty cool bit of trivia that I didn't know before
Nice.
as a Bay Area resident. Saying hi to throwback. Actually, I'm not going to say do all the highs because we're all only on one channel today. So, like, you guys can see everything. So, I'm only going to talk about chats that are not hellos to everybody. Or except for hellos to us, of course.
Right.
That's what up. And Peachy, let's F and go 49ers. McNiner, I've been calling him Mick Nuevo. I kind of like that. David McNew, good stuff. Tony says fantasy football is fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also lucrative. Fantasy is a form of betting, and betting is lucrative. And ultimately, we do this to have fun. I mean, for me, I'll speak for myself. I do it to have some fun and learn and teach and all that good stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you want to stay at this, it helps to make some money, and fantasy is a good way to do that. So, hats off. I hope you guys make a mint and have some fun and do all that.
Definitely.
Bebop says trophy smiling BC to Brant Culp. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, we got Ryan from No Border Sports in the house. Says what up, everyone?
Hey,
It's funny. I got into a beef with Mike Silver last night, and I posted a screenie of it in a DM group that we're in, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh, should we go razz him?" And I'm like, "I don't know. He blocked pretty easily. Next thing I know, Mike Silver blocked me. Can't say I didn't know it was coming, but he was saying that Trey Lance was the fourth best QB, and we were gonna trade him or cut him.
Speaking of Mike Silver, I got to get this off my chest. I know a lot of people follow me on social media, so they know whenever I spaz out, like it's usually for a really good reason. He was very disrespectful to my dear friend
Cinnamon Kiss. Yes, I saw that.
So yeah,
and very dismissive of content creators, as if we're just fans, and because we wear a jersey. I don't even wear a jersey at camp anyway. I wear a polo, but if you wear a jersey or a hat, like, you can't be smart. I'm like, by the way, Mike, doesn't Kyle Shanahan wear a Niner hat? Hello, like,
it's my whole thing that aggravates me with people like that is you just got lucky enough to have a chance to do what you do. Like, it's not that you are more intelligent than anyone else. It's not that you're more intelligent than we are. It's not that you like miraculously did some kind of huge thing that none of the rest of us could do. All of us could do what he does if that's what we, choose to do. And the door was open for us to do that. And it was so condescending, but Sin came back really good at him. And I think she had him a little speechless, but I still had to go to bat for her because that's my girl. That was not happening. Like, you are not going to disrespect this female because she's basically calling you out, because it was stupid. It was actually stupid. And it's not the first stupid thing that he's written.
No, he basically lied. He said some lies. He said condescending stuff like it all came out basically it wasn't even in his thread to start out with. So he chased me down under Rob Stats Guerrera's thread, where Rob Stats Guerrera said something about it, and I replied to Rob and I said, clearly he hasn't been at camp. Then he quote tweeted me and he said, "Oh yes, I have, Sonny," And then I said, "Oh, so you have Lance at QB3 then?" Which I think he even has him at QB4, but even QB3 is ridiculous. And he said, "Oh, keep up. It's Kyle that has him there." And I'm like, Kyle doesn't have anyone anywhere yet. There's no official depth chart. And then I was just basically if Lance is QB3 or 4, whatever, why is he taking first team reps when Purdy is out? Why is he the first person taking reps in other drills, when Purdy's out? And why is he the second person taking reps when Purdy's there? There's a very clear pecking order with quarterbacks and their order and how it works. And I won't say that Darnold didn't get some second team reps, because he did, but Lance always went first. And that's what has the meaning. And that's what I've seen in the past. So yeah. And then with Cinnamon Kiss, he's trying to say content creators are lesser. And to me, I think independent content creators, like, I mean, I'm going to say like myself, there's more power in that because I'm not beholden to anybody. There's nobody paying me. I can say whatever I want. And, I'm not going to lose my credentials with the Niners because I don't have one, and ultimately, like, I can be completely honest. And some people think I won't be because I like Trey Lance. But, guess what, folks? I said Darnold won Sunday. I said Lance won Monday. And I said Purdy won today. So, like, does that sound like someone who's really biased or can't be objective? I don't know. It really chops my hide, the whole thing. And now a bunch more people have gone and gotten blocked. And I feel badly because, that's why I told people in the chat, like, he blocks easily. So, like, that's why then they're like, do you want us to chime in? I'm like, I didn't really want to be responsible for them getting blocked.
Yeah,
now a bunch of people that kind of fight with me on things, on my side of things for Lance have gotten blocked. I kind of feel a little bad, but I think they knew what they were getting into. So.
And Breezy actually has a point. He's in the chat. So welcome, Breezy. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
I'm glad he had time to step in here a little bit. What he's saying is what he said was wrong, but at this point, why do we even keep him relevant? Like, let's not even interact with him. He kind of has a point because he's quiet whenever people don't. It's like he wants to get a rise out of people because he wants to be his name out there. And I guess now he's trending. So,
Grant called him out because he wasn't in practice today. So I was like, Grant, because like when his interactions with Grant, he like made some snide comment to Grant too, like, oh, fetch me a meatball sandwich with mozzarella, I don't know, whatever it was. It was some like food order, as if like Grant was his DoorDash or something really demeaning. And so Grant tweeted him today. He's like, hey, Mike, I had your blah, blah, blah. And I didn't see you on the sidelines. And trust me, I didn't either because you bet you're behind. I was looking for him today because I want to be like, hey, Mike, you going to unblock me? So I got to meet some other cool people today. I met David Lombardi today. He's a little bit of a Lance hater too, but whatever. I fanboyed out and shook his hand. And then Jordan Elliott I got to meet today too. And Steph was sitting by us. So of course, I got to meet her. That was really great. Awesome. I made sure to Steph's DM her. Great. I knew I had missed her yesterday. And I was like, if you're going today, I got to make sure we at least shake hands, if not sit together. So that was awesome. Half the fun is like meeting these people we do shows with.
Yes.
Obviously it's a lot of fun seeing the people play too, getting ready, see what happens. We got Woke Niner Recap saying sup. Jason Niner Smash Massey, Talofa Faithful. That's Talanoa Hufanga Faithful. Huff Daddy, he was first one out again today. There was only one day he wasn't first out. That was the first day on Wednesday, where Jair Brown beat him out of the locker room.
Yeah.
So this isn't really saying hi to Sin, but this is saying go Sin, taking on Mike Silver. Also, with the people that got blocked, I came up with a thing. I said, I have like my receipts army and stuff of people that pull receipts on people like I do. And so now I'm calling us the Tarnished Silver Army. So, kind of like that. For people that have been blocked by him. So, which is the list is long, kind of like Kawakami, I think, has a lot of blocked people. Man, I've managed somehow to avoid him, but Silver got me last night. Jason says, Cynthia and Adam, it was great to see. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think more people should take him on. He was also, he and Jesse were going at it too, and it's a big deal. Not the first and won't be the last. Yeah, no doubt about it. The thing is, though, he can't block my burner. So when it comes time to get those receipts, you bet I'm still going to be there because I can basically reply to anyone that replies to him with my burners, that can get my main in there. So he hasn't seen the last of me. That's for damn sure.
But Reese's right. I mean, when we come at him, like we're literally just giving him what he wants. Like he's literally getting out there and everyone's seeing because he knows who they are. So
I agree. Right now, while things are up in the air, like it's like there's no such thing as bad press right now. But like if Lance ends up being the starter, then we can go back and like he wins the job between now and or wins it during the season, not by injury.
Right.
Like then I will definitely be going back to get my pound of flesh for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm huge on receipts. Everyone knows that. So
there you go. Atta girl, love it, Peachy.
Yeah,
I knew I liked you. Just one more reason to like Miss Peachy here. Everybody's saying, what's up? What up? What up? Breezy says, I feel like giving him power now. Mike's dumbass is trying. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that, that was Grant who did that, So,
Yeah.
and then Rob Stats Guerrero is pretty big
Other
too.
people, yeah.
And then we kind of jumped in. But anyway,
Yeah.
he'll be gone soon. There won't be much to talk about.
Yeah. What's that comment? I think Breezy has a bigger comment. My only
Dude looking
issue.
for attention.
Yeah. And then he's got one. My only issue with Kyle is
here.
Yeah, that one. Then my only issue with Kyle is that I feel Lance isn't getting to compete for the number one spot. He's stacking good days, but it's with the twos. Then he splits reps with Sam for the two. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what's happening, folks. When you look at, and I said that when I posted my thing today where I said Purdy had the best day and Lance was number 2 and Allen was number 3 and Darnold was number 4 today. I did say that, keep in mind, Purdy is going with all the best weapons. He's out there. He's got CMC. He's got Debo, Kittle, Ayuk. And then people say, well, Purdy's going against the number 1 D. Well, no, most of his completions today were against Ambry Thomas. I think the soon-to-be-cut Ambry Thomas, honestly. He's on his last leg with this organization, and he has done nothing so far in camp that I've seen but get burned. So, he might have had 1 PBU maybe, but just to be fair. But, pretty much a lot of getting burnt toast. So, and then Lance, you watch him line up, it's like K. Martin, Chris Conley. They had Coletto out there with him in the red zone. This guy is just brand new, fresh to the team, and he's a fullback, and he's no juice. He could be someday, maybe, who knows, but he certainly isn't right now. And, there's one play where we hey, he's got Ayuk out there, and then there's 3 other, I won't call them scrubs, but just second, third tier weapons, meh weapons at the very best.
Yeah.
And of course, then he completes to Ayuk, but it's when you've got Ayuk and all those other guys, it's way easier to complete to Ayuk when he's not the only target, when he's not getting everyone's attention. So, yeah, no, all right, anyone who knows me, anyone who's seen a tweet from me in the off season, chances are you've seen me tweet, Lance hasn't played with CMC and has barely played with Kittle. He still hasn't had a rep with CMC after 6 practices.
I think he had one today.
5 open.
Did
where
he
he threw
not have
him?
one with CMC today?
Maybe,
I thought he did.
Maybe where CMC ran one, but not where he threw to CMC.
Okay, because I thought that he.
Maybe there was and I missed it. It's possible.
One today.
It's
well,
possible.
That's Breezy. I know Breezy will know. Breezy.
If you're talking 1 out of 6 practices, it's you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. But they already had people on Twitter saying that the only reason why that he did connect with CMC today is because people kept asking the same question as to why it's whenever Brock, wasn't practicing, then CMC wasn't. And it was getting to where, a lot of people were asking that. So they thought maybe they just did that on purpose because of all the questions that were being asked about CMC not being out there whenever Brock is not.
Yeah, that's the other problem is on the days when Brock's been out, CMC's had his rest day. So it's that's the best chance for Lance to get the play. And when Lance is running the number ones, then CMC's not in that day. It's just it's frustrating as heck. Clearly it's not a competition yet. But the funny thing is, till today, Lance and Darnold have been better than Purdy. And even today, I don't know that Purdy bridged the gap. Purdy was the best today, but it's still up in the air. Who's the best quarterback? That's why I changed the title to the show to something like Purdy, starting to close the gap with Lance and Darnold. Because I said yesterday, I had a tweet where I said, if this keeps up, we're going to have a QB1 competition. And I said, ... 1 of 2, right? A little cliffhanger tweet. And then down below, I said, between Darnold and Lance, because Darnold and Lance have played better than Purdy up till yesterday. Or till today, through yesterday.
Right.
So Ryan from No Border Sports said, great seeing Breezy on today with Dion. That's awesome that he popped on. We're all part of a DM group, and that's awesome when, Breezy's the man, and he helps any of us out being on our shows. So we really appreciate that. Brandon Ferrigno is the co-founder of that channel with Beto from Niner Sickness Podcast. So welcome Brandon of Forever Faithful Podcast saying, what's up, fam? Ted, wear Mike's like a badge of honor. Oh, absolutely. When Grant said, "Hey, Mike, I had your sandwich today, and I didn't see you because like I don't think he's been there, to be honest. Like I don't think you can have these crazy bad takes and be there and see what we all saw. No one who's been there with me, and we got some of the top people: Jesse, Brad, Graham, Rohan, Ryan Hensley, Steph, Raj from RSF 49ers. I mean, these are like top people that have been to a lot of these things and know what they're talking about. Nobody's saying the stuff that Mike Silver's saying, and that's why I said he must not have been there. Anyway, Grant calls him out for not being there, and then I said, "Yeah, he's hiding from me." And then I put the block thing on there because it's not true, but it made me feel good to wear it as a badge of honor for sure. Jason says Talanohufanga is Samoan, Huff is Tongan. Oh, Talofa. Oh, I didn't realize that we had somebody else. What is Talofa's? Oh, it's hello and Samoan, Huff is Tongan. Got it. Okay. I knew it was Polynesian island something. I just thought it was like a, shortening of Talanohufanga, but I guess there's no H in it. Thank you. So it's like aloha in Hawaiian. Talofa, aloha. Got it. Hello. Lombardi has less personality than a stick. He's tall and skinny as a stick. He's got to be 6'3", 6'4". He's a lot taller than I thought. I missed seeing him the other day when I shook Larry Kruger's hand and Grant Cohn's hand. Larry and Lombardi were sitting or talking, standing near each other. Surprise. And I was like, God, I wish I had said hi to Lombardi. And then today I was sitting with Mike Urtaza, who's his producer, and he was with the rest of us today. And Mike went down to talk to Lombardi. I'm like, all right, I got to go at least shake his hand. I'm not a big fan of David Lombardi, but I mean, I respect him she's coming up on 100,000 followers on Twitter, and obviously does good things for the Athletic. He's just, in my opinion, a little bit biased, a little bit pro Jimmy, a little bit pro Purdy, a little bit
He's
anti.
a little bit more than biased, but okay.
A little bit. I mean, but he's doing his thing. I always say like he and Grant are kind of like CNN and Fox News. So like you kind of got to watch both and then draw this imaginary line down because Grant's kind of a hater and Lombardi's definitely a homer. And so you kind of got to draw this invisible line down the middle between what the two of them say, and you're like, that's probably where the truth
moderate,
is.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Right where nobody ever runs politically. Anyway, I'm not getting into politics. No. And even bringing up those two channels is probably bad enough. Woke Niner recap says Tim K blocked me years ago. Yeah, I don't know how I've dodged that so far. But even talking about him probably catch me a block. Let's see. If we get off the air and I'm blocked, you know what happened. He was tuning in. Let's see. Fernando says Mike Silver is a jerk. LMAO. Yeah, he's condescending. He's rude. He's gaslighting. He's really a lot of narcissistic traits, if you ask me about this guy. But what do I know? I'm no psychiatrist. Okay, we already saw Breezy. We're kind of skipping back here. I don't know who said it, but someone said Mike Slither. Oh, I saw somebody saying that. I think it was Ty or Ty Alston. I think was saying something about he's kind of a snake. Brandon saying hope all is well. To you, Miss Peachy. Jason, I'll clarify. He blocked me for no reason due to soft for blocking everybody, not commenting or retweeting him. That's crazy. Yeah, I think he looks in what people say about him, even if you're not in his threads. I think he's like scouring for his name and blocking people preemptively.
Yeah, you can tell that he's like very insecure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Very sensitive. It's still funny, foolish on his part to do that. Yeah. John J. 49ers Ultimate Report says back to back show. Keep up the good work, Ted. Shout out to the great Peachy. Outstanding. Let's see. People are saying hi. Okay, here's Breezy saying, I heard Lance had a rep and a catch by CMC. Okay, maybe there was one today. So, all right, finally one after 6 practices. But come on.
Right, exactly.
This guy's your number 2. Like, here's the thing. Like, all these hate Lance haters, they're like, oh, Lance was given the job last year. He didn't earn it. But oh, it's totally fine if they give it to Purdy. I understand he has more of a track record. I get it. But like there's some questions about Purdy, folks. Like he has a serious injury to his UCL. He's not 100% physically. I don't care what they tell you. I'm telling you, he is not 100% physically. And he's definitely not 100% mentally either. He's had tons of PBUs, blocked sacks. Today, 2 dropped interceptions. Like he did have 2 TDs to counteract them, but he's not what he was in 2022 yet. That's for sure. And so until he is, and I'm saying even if he is, we don't know that Lance isn't better until we see him with CMC and Purdy and Kittle and all the weapons with his new mechanics. Lance is not putting the ball in harm's way. He had a laser today that, I'm sorry, the first thing I did was turn it over. I'm like, Brock Purdy does not have that club in his bag. It was like a 15-yard out, and he just zinged it to the sideline.
Yes.
And
it was gorgeous.
Purdy, you know who else isn't? Brandon Allen. Neither of those cats has arm for that. Darnold does, but I don't trust him under pressure. But so far, Darnold's been really good. I mean, I called him 6 Cent Sammy a lot and said he won't see the field unless injury and blah, blah, blah. I was pretty rude and dismissive of him, disrespectful, I'll just say. And so far, he's made me eat my words quite a bit. I mean, I'm back to calling him Darnold. I got to put some respect on him. He's played well.
I mean, well, the reason why is just because, I remember like when Sam first found out that he was coming to this team and he did this YouTube thing. It was like quarterbacks. He was talking to somebody, I forgot who it was. And he had this YouTube special and it was like an hour long. And when he was talking about, like his comeback and, all this other stuff and all the bad stuff that he had went through before and all these different things. And the one thing that stuck out to me, and I tell Breezy this, I'm like, he really, like his eyes got so big as saucers discussing all of the players that we have on this team. Like he's never played with the type of players or had the coaches that we have. Never. And he's so excited about, being able to do that. That, of course, he's going to, look better here because, I mean, wow, look at our players. Like they're amazing. Like we almost have a top player at each position and that's something that Sam's never had before. He's never had the opportunity to have that. So of
Plus
course,
Kyle.
He's definitely right. He's definitely going to look better. Just like I said, like the coaching staff too, like any of it. This is the best that he's ever had before.
So, no doubt. Yeah. I mean, during the offseason, I said, like, I could see some parallels between him and Alex Smith, both having, 5 OCs and five first seasons. And I thought he very well could have his best, performance of his career. I just don't think it'll be like good or like starter level, but I think he could be a real good backup or for sure the best 3rd string quarterback in the NFL.
No, he definitely can be starter.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I mean, I think, we need to win a couple games, 3 games. Yep. 2-3 games. I think we could do it with him. I just don't like the idea of them being playoff games in the Super Bowl, but
right.
But we'll see. Maybe he'll grow on me more. I'm leaving. I'm having an open mind.
Yeah.
I have my preconceived ideas, but I'm not letting them color what I see. I'm making sure to be open to new information as it comes across.
Yeah.
Because we just never know. Mostly because we just don't know when Purdy will really be back to himself. He may never be. I mean, I would never root for that. I don't want that. I really, I've been saying faithful to the Bay, faithful to Trey and Brock, FTTB. Might have to add Purdy or Darnold in there somewhere. Doesn't fit the thing, but that's why I was wearing the faithful visor today because I'm faithful to all our quarterbacks. I want them all to do well, them all to be healthy and ready as soon as possible. And I just hope Lance wins. But if he doesn't, as long as we win number 6, then I don't care who it is that does it. So that's ultimately we got. Just ultimate. John Jay was just shouting out Breezy. Says the GOAT. What up? Hope as well. All is well. That's one I'll say hi to, or show up because obviously Breezy is a special guest in the channel here. Jess, East Coast Red and Gold's podcast. She says, "What's up, faithful?" You can find her every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, along with Ty, Mighty B, and Bex. We've seen a lot of Terradome on there too, the T-Dome. Yeah. In fact, one time when he and I were on there were some pretty good fireworks too. We got some finger wagging and some
Yeah.
red faces.
Those are very interesting. You can also catch Jess with me along with Tony and others
Every other
on
Thursday, right?
Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday.
Now, since the season started, it's better for Saturday. So Saturday night
And is it
on the
every
Ladies of
Saturday or
the
every other?
Empire. Not pretty much every Saturday.
Nice.
We're
At what
going
time?
strong. Yeah.
What
And it's
time?
really good. So you guys really need to come and support and view it. It's some women that, that have some knowledge about football that you guys have got to do that. Just
And what time on Saturdays?
I believe that right now we're doing it at 8.
Eastern,
The
5 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
All right, cool. Got to break it down. Got to chill out on that East Coast bias, man. Jeez. I get it. Most of the people live back there, and there's more football teams back there than on the West Coast for sure. Ryan says, "What up, Joe?" Okay, we're saying well, hi. I'm not going to go through all those. See if I can try and catch up. Fernando says, "I could care less about stats in practice." Yes and no. There's some things about stats. I mean, first of all, in OTAs, or well, not in OTAs, in many training camp. Where are we? Training camp. You're supposed to kind of be working on your weaknesses. You're not really supposed to be trying to maximize for completion percentage. You're supposed to maybe miss a few throws now so that you can make them in the regular season, the ones that you need to work on, that type of thing. Also, the statistics are, it varies. Like Grant Cohn said Purdy was the worst QB today. And, 95-7 the game had a different order than me. I had it Purdy, Lance, Allen, Darnold, and they had it Purdy, Allen, Lance, Darnold. It depends on what you're going off. Some people are going off pure completion percentage. I'm going off, did they score? Did they have impressive throws? Did they avoid turnover worthy plays?
Yeah. I think Grant's thing was, and I actually agree. I know a lot of people do not, but I actually agree with him because Grant is looking at the sacks. He's looking at he's looking at all these different things of how slow Purdy is right now by getting the ball out and all these things like that, and how it just doesn't. It's still not there. And so I definitely agree with that. As far as that aspect of what Grant's probably looking at, he's probably just looking at, confidence to getting that ball out and how, you got to be able to get that ball out. Because last year, he wasn't holding onto the ball like that. And now, he's doing that. Now, is that because, just like a mental hurdle that he's got to get over? I know that I heard that he threw a ball today or whatever. It went kind of crazy and he got really pissed at himself, which is really good because you're supposed to be upset, with yourself when you do something, that that you haven't done. You've done, all of a sudden it just got away from him or whatever happened and he got mad at himself. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what these training camps and practices and everything are for. So when you do things like that, you learn from it. I say, well, I'm not going to do that again. That kind of stuff, and then you just keep on. After practice, Trey was, practicing throwing, which was really good.
Today?
And his arm looks amazing, by the way. So he was out there, practicing and everything. So it was just really good to see. It was just really great to see, things that they're working on. They're not perfect. None of them are going to be, regardless of what people think that, Purdy is like the next thing next to Jesus Christ. I just don't understand. Where'd you get this from? But I just was happy to see, him get pissed. You know what I'm saying? About something he knows that he, needs to work on and needs to make sure that he doesn't do again. So.
Absolutely. John Jay was congratulating McNiner. I like to call him McNuevo, Dave McNew. He had a initial show yesterday, I believe, for his new channel. So
awesome! I missed it. I'm sorry.
Make sure to check that out.
Yes.
Yeah, and the other thing about camp stats is it's just subjective. There's they go back to pass and the pass rusher runs by them, and you don't know if it's because you got blocked by him, or if it's because, hey, I'm not going to hit the QB, and that
Yes.
should be a sack. And then, then when they get tackled, it's very subjective when that happens. So it's open to a lot of interpretation, and that's why there's a wide variance. Like when
Right.
you have like 5 or 6 people sitting together like we did today, then you have more of a consensus of what happened.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
if you're by yourself or with
Mm-hmm.
just one other person, like, especially sometimes it's just hard to even see what happened. That there's like a column in your way. There's no replay. There's no slow mo. There aren't 7 or 8 angles. No, super zoom in or anything like that. Like
Right.
it can be
Once
very
it
difficult
happens,
to
it's
tell.
gone, and that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're constantly, not like a game where like in a play you might switch out 1 or 2 players,
Yes.
here or there every
Mm-hmm.
few plays. Like this is like wholesale changes going on every few plays,
Yeah.
every couple or 3 plays, and even within the same, from play to play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very difficult to keep track of, and you got to just don't think that and just try not to think that any one day is like means the world. Like
The
you
day.
got to look
Right.
at the whole
That's
sum
right.
total of everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start to get a better picture of what's going
Yeah.
on. But even then, yeah, they're still not tackling the quarterbacks, right? And so you're going to have a different mindset than if you
Right.
know you're about to get slaughtered, for sure. So,
Yeah.
Fernando's saying Jack Hammer and Larry Krueger will be going live with East Coast Red and Gold podcast tomorrow. That's an unusual day for the. Oh no, wait, that's Wednesday. Interesting. So those are 2 pretty big
Yeah. I'll be tuning into that one.
Lance haters for sure, if you will. Big Purdy
That
guy.
should be a fun
I
show.
will say Lance or Jack is pretty objective, at least with his stats. Maybe not his context behind the stats, but at least he keeps good stats. I think I agree with almost everything I've seen him post out of camp.
Yeah, me too. He's done an
And
excellent
Kruger
job.
has definitely come around quite a bit on Trey Lance too. From
Breezy
when
kind of helped him do that, I think.
who did Breezy? Breezy,
Yeah.
Grant, Jesse.
Yeah.
He's doing shows with all these
Yeah,
people that really like Lance.
there's a
I think it
couple of
rubs off.
convincing guys that have helped him to kind of.
I mean,
come
I'm going
back
to take a
around a
little
little
credit
bit.
too. I had some beef with Larry over the whole Schefter thing. I was commenting on his show saying that Schefter saying that Darnold had the edge. I said that it was clickbait, that he was doing it for clickbait.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then he blocked
Yes.
me, and we had this whole huge kerfuffle.
Yes.
But anyway, we got through it all. I DM'd him
That
and
was huge.
listed some of his stuff, and he was cool with it. And
Yeah,
he
that
shook,
kind of blew
he
up a
shook
little
my
bit
hand
on
the other
social
day.
media.
So at least we're he's like basically like, it's just sports. Don't worry. I don't
Right.
hold
It's
any
not
ill
personal.
will. It's not personal.
Yeah.
Just business.
It's
little
just-
Nino Brown there, right?
Yeah.
But right
Yeah.
before he capped me. That's cool. Yeah, definitely have to check it. Those are huge gets. I mean, Jess is just on a roll. Or the whole ECRG group. I mean, geez, Jesse Zapoli last week, Burford the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're pulling in the big time guests.
That's
and why not?
great.
Jess Deserter, she knows most of these people personally, and has hung out with them and seen them, when she's staying at the hotels, when she's
Right.
visiting.
She knows like
games.
a lot of people. I tell her,
She knows. She's like a ninja down there in like the
Yes.
lobby and the bar and the elevator. Like you cannot hide from Jess if you're a player or a coach. Like she's going to be like pop in there and be like selfie. Ding. And so now they all know her. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's
including her
so
favorite
awesome.
player.
She's so personable. She's just a great person.
No doubt about it. And her favorite player, also mine, George Kittle. So there you go. Brian says ChatGPT could take. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. I'm not going to go that far. AI, though, I mean, I'll tell you what, any job you're looking to do these days, you should keep an eye on AI and make sure that it can't do it better now or soon. I've been using AI to help me with like better titles for shows. Ryan from Nowhere Sports showed me some cool tips and tricks using headline analyzers and like Bard and GPT. And I came up for a title for a show. I think it was when Joe Stevens, his buddy, the Seahawks fan, who's one of the Seahawks fans I know, who's a content creator, was coming on. And I came up with the title of like, have the Seahawks done enough to bridge the gap or to dethrone the 49ers? I'm like, great, there's my title. I popped it into YouTube. And then I was like, hey, what if I just ask Bard the question? like, have the Seahawks done enough to dethrone the 49ers? And I did. And there's just like, not enough information, ask an expert, and not in a voice, but, in text. And I was just like, yes, it can't do what we do. Adding the context, why things happened and what we think will happen because of that. But yeah, I mean, AI can certainly regurgitate stats. Like, if you're just sitting there, talking, regurgitating stats, like any schmuck can do that. So
Yeah, that's just what
If
this
that's
world's
all you
going
do,
to.
your job security is
Yeah.
dwindling fast.
Yep, that's what it's going to, though. Like
There will be
that's
AI podcasters that can do that sooner
right
than you think. Yeah, no, it's coming. I know somebody
definitely
who
is quick too.
told me about that. I got Anshul from the Shaw Show. Hello, 10 Peachy Faithful. Welcome, Anshul. Thanks for
Hey,
being here.
Anshul. That's my nephew right there.
Fernando says that he was just on the other day with me. We had a great show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
CMC is the best offensive play. Last Friday, I guess it was. CMC is the best offensive player on the 49ers. Trent is second for me. Wow, that's big talk for sure. But yeah, it's hard to deny when we went on a 12-0 run when CMC was our starter. After like Jimmy G was 2-3, and then he went 4-0 with CMC. Brock went 6-0 to end the season and 2-0 in the playoffs before he got injured.
Yeah, see,
I mean,
that
it's
to me,
huge. Maybe not in every offense, but in
yeah,
our offense, in Kyle's
right.
offense. Because didn't you always wonder, like, you got Mostert off the scrap heap, and you got Breida, UDFA, and you got Jeff Wilson Jr., UDFA. Didn't you? I always wondered, like, what would happen if we had a Terrell Davis or a Marshall Falk or a Drew Craig in this system? And I think this is what we're seeing, because like Bill Walsh always said, like, oh yeah, we had Jerry Rice, we had John Taylor, we had Brent Jones, but like we couldn't do what I really wanted to do with the West Coast offense until Roger Craig.
Yeah,
he was the key to Rebecca. If you want, CMC is our key to Rebecca. I think.
Yeah, we were.
I think you can make that argument. I think.
Yeah, we were talking about that on Nitty Gritty Niners, about the effects of CMC and like what he brings to this team, the dimensions, the versatility. I mean, everything. I've loved CMC since Stanford, so it's like he's been on my fantasy team like almost every single year. I was talking about that when we were talking about the fantasy show in there. And I'm like, I've literally drafted CMC almost every single year, even in Carolina. But he was used wrong in Carolina because he was used, he was overused. And that's why he stayed hurt, because he was everything for them too. And they had nothing else. See, our team is so stacked that he doesn't have to be everything. So that way, you don't overuse him, because you have, like a plethora of different selections that you can bring out that, players at any time. So you don't have to just run him in the ground, because that's what was going in Carolina. He was just being ran in the ground. So
yeah, no doubt. And if anybody gives you grief about CMC getting injured, here's what you tell them. You tell them, actually, he was injured in 2020 and 2021, but he's been in the league for 6 years, and 4 of those seasons he played complete seasons. So it's only 2. And there were no major injuries. Right. And like you said, they were overused. And some of the time he was out was lengthened because there was nothing to come back for on those teams.
Exactly.
So like it looked worse than it was.
Right.
Exactly. And it's funny, I was arguing with a Seahawks fan over this. And then, me and receipts the other day, Kenneth Walker is injured, and so is Charbonnet. Both of their backs. I'm like, oh, karma. Quote tweeted him on that one. Now, and again, I don't root for injuries, but like when somebody is making fun of me for injuries and then their team gets injured, I'm like, that's what happens when you.
Well, we see what happened to Dallas when
knock on wood for all
that reporter on that show. On that.
Oh yeah. When he was wishing injury on CMC. Yes. Yeah. And then Pollard got injured.
And yeah.
And that probably cost them the game. I mean, I'm going to be honest and say, like, I think the Cowboys could have beat us if Pollard was healthy. I'm not saying they would have, but I think it's more of a coin flip in that game. I mean, because that was like a whole half where he wasn't there. And then they're down to just CeeDee Lamb. Dalton Schultz is a good, like, possession tight end, but, like, he's not a game breaker like Pollard and CeeDee. Those guys, you get the ball in their hand, they can just do stuff. I mean, Pollard's in that
Hmm.
conversation with CMC.
Yeah.
Obviously not the same, but he's younger and a little bit more explosive.
Hmm.
So probably not the same receiver.
Yeah.
Real quick, Troy Knoll says, "Love you, Peachy."
Love you
Just want
too,
to make sure we
Troy.
caught
And we are
that.
continuing to pray for you, buddy.
And then Fernando says, "Good job, Troy. Stand by. Don't give a F what the QB is. Just win the
We
sixth
just
ring.
won a sixth
Absolutely."
ring.
Tommy says, "Ryan is my favorite dude lover."
Hello,
I thought
Tommy.
it was love him, but maybe not lover. You better get him back, Ryan. Don't take that from Tommy Huxley. He's a guitar player and he travels with his band and plays gigs all over the country. Really cool. Troy Knoll says, "Don't carry the start." Yeah, just went rain. There we go. We're all agreed on that. It's just the thing is, I don't know that every one of our QBs can win a ring, and so I really want to pick the one that can and get them in
Yeah,
there week one. Although week one is a tough ask, right?
it
You
really
got
is.
T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith,
Yes.
and they're gonna pretty much one of those And T.J. Watt's a monster, and Alex Highsmith is no slouch, 10th highest paid
Yep.
defensive end. At least he was before Nwosu got his contract. And one of those guys has been going up against McKivitz in his first ever start at right tackle pretty much every play of the game. So I hope our run game's clicking. I hope we got some good short passing game,
Me
misdirect,
too.
and reverses,
Absolutely. Yes.
pitches, all that good stuff. I hope it's all clicking. Ryan says we stacked. Love. Oh wait, hold on. Breaking news. No, still no one wants Carson Wentz. That's true. He's still unsigned. He'll get signed somewhere before the season starts. I think he's not that bad. I don't think he's just a little bit of a head case, but I think
Right.
he's got some talent. I think someone will want him, before the season starts. Well, I guess it'll depend if someone gets injured or not. Maybe
They'll.
not.
It'll be a team who can think that they can fix him. He
There you
won't act
go.
that way here. We'll stay on top of it. We'll make sure that this and that and all the different things like that. So somebody will
Tommy,
probably get him.
Tommy getting a little sassy here. Peachy looking hot as usual. Too bad she has bad taste in basketball teams. Oh,
No, okay, Tommy.
Tommy, who's your team, buddy? Tell us. I've forgotten. So I know that Randy Daytona was clowning me to be a Kings fan during the Kings series, but he was actually a Pistons fan. I don't know who Tommy's basketball. Most Niner fans are not Warrior fans. Well, I mean, maybe more than any other team, but there's not a lot of Niner Warrior fans. I've noticed that. Got Beto in the house, Niner Sickness Podcast. He was on yesterday. Welcome, Beto. Thanks for joining. Had fun with you. Great show yesterday. We got Tommy says, Ryan, what's good? Oh, come on. All right. Be nice. Be nice. Corey Davis in the house, another content creator from Beto's DM group. Hello, my 49ers fan. I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday.
I hope you are as
Taco
well.
Tuesday, folks. Taco Charlton signed today. Had
Yes.
nice reps in
Yes,
camp.
he did.
Yeah,
Just
he's
came
looking
right
good.
in there and just took over and
Yeah,
looked pretty decent.
yeah. And just so everybody knows, Corey is not yelling. He has trouble seeing regular font, so he does the caps lock so he can see what he's typing.
Okay.
So just so you know, because a lot of times you think that's yelling. It's not with Corey. It's just his regular subtle voice. Hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, if you could hit the like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. It helps me to keep doing all of us what we do for you. So thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody saying what up?
So CMC on the top 100, they had the new one, the newest one that came out
37
today,
or something.
and he was 35.
35.
If he had played with the Niners all year, he probably would have been higher than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And he might be the highest running back, right? I wonder if there's any running backs that I mean, they'll probably put Chubb maybe ahead of him, or
yeah, Chubb will
maybe
be ahead of him. Chubb
maybe
will probably
Saquon.
be in the top 10 because he was the best one. Saquon was actually on there today too. So he's
What number?
I can't remember. It was 30 something.
Huh?
I know that he was on today's. It went through like 40 something to 30, 31 or something like that. 41.
Ryan's,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. Ryan's live every Friday and Thursday on Joe's channel. Okay, so live Friday, I guess, on his, and Thursdays on Joe's. So they're doing 2 shows a week, back to back
Cool.
days. That is cool.
But the good news is, like I was telling somebody earlier, there's a lot of 49ers that are yet to be up here. So I am really excited about that.
Yeah, I mean,
because
Bosa,
they're already through 30.
Kittle,
So and
Trent Williams,
there's a
Fred
whole lot of them. Trent will be top 5
should
probably.
be, should be.
Bosa will be top 5. If Trent's not top 5, then he'll be top 10. But
Yeah,
Bosa winning Defensive Player of the Year would definitely be top 5. So
should be.
I know that.
There you go. And Tommy said, "What about your channel?" I think he's talking to you about when you're going to launch your channel, PG. Because
We're working on
they
it.
know
It's
about
going to
mine.
eventually happen. Just every time that I think I'm going to have time to really just try to figure
It's a
out what I
time
want to
suck.
do, then we have like all this 49er stuff this pop up, because we have so many shows and everything going on right now. So it'll be soon though. We're gonna figure out how to get it in there, but
Do
that's
it,
why.
do it, make it happen.
But the only thing that disappointed me was where Debo was. Like, I know that Debo didn't have the gear, that he even wanted to have. He's even said that, right?
Yeah,
He hasn't had that year. But to fall from 19 all the way to the 60s, like, that's, to me, that's severe. Like, like, dang, man. I mean, I think if he was around, like, you know, uh like maybe 40 something or whatever, but 60 something like that, I was like, man, that's crazy.
I mean, I think if he has a 2021 year in 2023,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that'll happen again, even if he has another off year after that. It's just that, he was a rookie in 2019 and didn't break out till week 10.
Yeah.
So his stats look low, even though he was good in the playoffs. And then 2020, he had the Jones fracture that got him out of shape and
Mm-hmm.
missed so much time in 2020.
Yes.
2021, he went off 1,405 receiving yards and like
Yeah.
almost 400 rushing yards and 13 or 14 TDs total. So yeah, I mean, I think there are some people that say he's a 1 year wonder, and they look at what Ayuk's doing; he's ascending, and they wonder if
Yeah.
he'll miss target share. And all our weapons suffer from being a run first offense with, I'll say, mostly meh quarterback play or worse, meh or worse. Average to CJ Mullins and Hoyer. So Shasha says Peachy should start your own channel. She did. She's just getting ready to launch it. She's putting the final touches on. So it's happening. Just she's building for suspense here.
I'm getting there, nephew.
There you go. Never perfect. Yeah, no one's perfect, but you can definitely strive for that and try not to be wrong all the time and learn from your mistakes and
Right.
and
Yeah. Just
be better.
so there was no new Bosa news, but I still
No,
think that he's going to sign pretty soon. Joey did the same thing. Like, they are so, like, precise and specific about what they want. I'm sure that it just has to do with language, and they're just trying to air that out and everything like that. So if he's not signed by the end of this week, I will really be surprised. But the defensive players that have been speaking in the pressers have been talking to him, and so they know that he's not, that he's gonna sign. So they know, they talk about how they miss him out there in the whole 9 yards, of course, but these other guys are getting work in, and which is good because you can see like what your depth looks like this way, and you can, with that too. But I would say that it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't sign by Friday. But they don't seem to be worried, so I'm not going to be worried.
there you go.
They want him here, typical Niner stuff. Probably tried to lowball him at first just to see if they could slide it in there, and Christy's like, no. So I'm quite sure that a lot of it has to do with language and everything. So,
And get that dollar. Bosses get paid. That's for sure. There's
absolutely.
one thing we
Yes,
know
they
about the
do.
Bosses.
Both
They
of
get
them do,
paid.
because you're not going to want him to go to another team. I'd be sick at my stomach if he left this team for real. Not just being a Buckeye fan, but just, because he's that important to this defense.
Yeah, no
Like you
doubt.
have to have him.
He's crucial. Well, you do, but I mean, like, is there a number in your mind, like beyond number X? Like, it's like then you're just better off to trade him away.
I don't think that he's, from all reports, like it's not over 35 that
Okay.
he's asking
Yeah.
for.
No,
That
I'm
he's
thinking more
still
like
at the
40.
35.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
like 37, 38,
I
40.
just don't know what the 49ers offered at first, knowing them, and from, like even when Kittle, signed everything like that, they start out trying to make it a little low, so they can, see what's
Yeah.
up. Whenever we signed Trent, it was the same way. Whenever Trent had was talking to Kyle at the restaurant or whatever, on the phone, and all this stuff happened, and what they offered him, when he was about to go to Kansas City. And they came back and told him, all right, we got it. We're good, and that kind of stuff. So, of course, typical 49er fashion, we're going to try to, make it lower. It was probably 30. Probably wasn't, massively lower. And so I'm probably going to be dealing with that. But I would say that it's language, because that's just what the Bosas do. Like when Bosa was when Nick was drafted, he held out because they're trying to, language and things like that. And a lot of people forget that. We've already been here with him whenever he first came to the 49ers when he was drafted. It took us forever to get his contract done. So I hope that it's a Friday just so he can get out there and, get some good work in, even though he doesn't need it. But, it would be nice to get him out there. So let's just hope that he does.
Yeah, I just want to get him in time to
yes,
to
not get a little chemistry with Hargrave and people like that. That would be nice. You have some new defensive players, and you want to get a little bit of work in with them if you can. So
there
absolutely.
You go. Got a Rams fan, Jim Everett the Great, saying Stetson better than all three 49ers. He's a rookie, dude. Good luck with that. I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Keep in mind that anyone seeing positive reports out of Rams land about Stetson Bennett doing well in training camp, who can you name on the Rams D besides Aaron Donald? Name me a linebacker. Name me a corner. Name me a defensive end. They lost Leonard Floyd.
Right. Why is there this rumor that I keep hearing, Jim, that's going around saying that, and I actually said this to you on another show, on one of my shows. I know I did. Where why is it like this nasty rumor that's going around that if you guys are not that if you do not have a winning percentage by the trade time, that Aaron Donald is probably going to be on the trade block, because that would mean that you're rebuilding, which I think that they're rebuilding anyway. I'm not afraid. Nobody scares me on that team anymore. No. So, whatever.
And they said last year, we're going to run it back. I think they were just a year early. They're going to run it back 5-12 again. There you go, Rams. Run that back. Suckers.
Right.
Have fun. John V. Bornado in the house. What's up?
Hey, JV.
Nice to see you. We got Ramilia Sports Report too. The Rams fans come in. Props Peachy and Ted. This must be the real one. Nice to see you, Ramilia. He's somewhat respectful, so that's good.
He is.
Here we go. Yeah, they always talk about the VCR tapes. Oh, here's Slay Funky too. Wow, the Rams. They must have had a Rams pod get off here.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Ernest Jones. Ernest Jones is good, actually. Robert Rochelle. Oh, good luck with that. I mean, you went from Jalen Ramsey to Robert Rochelle. Is that? I thought it was Robert Michelle. No, I'm sorry, that's mean. But come on, I mean,
they're running back.
Bobby Wagner, right? Ernest Jones. No, I think Ernest Jones is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Sony Michel retired, right?
Yeah. Lost Von Miller to the Bills the year before last.
Sony just decided that
Yeah, I guess technically Leonard Floyd isn't gone yet. I don't think he did sign, didn't he? Someone signed Leonard Floyd. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I'm pretty
gone.
sure that he did.
He gone. He
Right,
gone.
nephew. Just like
And
Antra
there's so
said.
many more of those. Like other guys you don't think of, like Greg Gaines, Ashawn Robinson, a
Mm-hmm.
couple of good D tackles. I don't think they're going to miss Taylor Rapp. I'll miss Taylor Rapp. I wish he was still there because he
Bet
was
you will.
garbage.
So
But
so will I.
but they lost Nick Scott, the one who put that big old hit on Debo in the NFC Championship. She kind of cheap shot when Debo didn't have his head swung around,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't cheap because it was. I mean, it's maybe cheap but not dirty. It was a clean hit, but a little bit of a cheap hit, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But here we go. On Shaw, there's the quote of the day. The
It
Iron
does
Rams
now.
stands for
Yes,
rebuilding.
it
Good
does.
luck. Good luck.
It is. That's Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Sacktown Izzy in the house. Number one ranked defense, folks. Yeah, I mean, our D could be better. I've been saying, I don't think I said it on this show, so I'll say it again. I think that Hargrave could be our Charles Haley 2.0. The
Could be.
way when we lost Haley to the Dallas Cowboys, our arch division rival,
Yeah.
not division, conference rival,
Yeah, I know what you
NFC
mean.
championship rival.
Mm-hmm.
And then they won 3 out of 4 NFC championships and
Yeah.
and 3 Super Bowls. 2 before us. Then we won our last one, number 5, and then they won in '96 the year after too. Once they got Dion from us too. So let's make sure we don't give up any corners to the Eagles. But and they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, lost all the linebackers, lost Hargrave, they lost right guard, running back. But the big thing too is they're both coordinators, Gannon and Steichen.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a lot of good looking draft picks, but draft picks bust at least 50% of the time, and even the 50% that hit many times do not hit their rookie season. They're counting on those guys to carry them. I don't know. I honestly think the Cowboys might be a bigger nemesis for us. Getting Pollard back. They got Brandon Cooks. They got Gilly. They still have Micah Parsons, who's in that conversation with Bosa. Not the same player, but a little faster, more versatile. Even if he's not the same edge, he can do other things. And obviously Diggs on the other side of Gilmore. Some pretty underrated safeties too. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think it's those are the big 3 for me in the NFC.
Yeah, I understand. Pull up Ramelia's sports report here.
This too long didn't read.
Oh no, but I have to though. Let's not be mistaken here. Rams still have the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the NFC. Actually, that's not true. And the greatest force on defense in Aaron Donald, and the youngest Super Bowl winning head coach in NFL history with the elite honor. Okay, so let me address this.
All right, you're gonna go first. All right.
Yes.
Get up, Peachy.
First of all, quarterback and receiver, your own coach is not even confident in Stafford. Let's just keep that going. That's why all this Stetson Bennett stuff is up here anyway, because they're not. They don't even know if Matt Stafford wants to be in LA anymore. So let's take that. Wide receiver, Cooper Kupp is amazing. He's actually on my fantasy team. The greatest force on defense in Aaron Donald, that's true. On your defense, Aaron Donald will always be the best player until he's traded. The youngest Super Bowl winning head coach in NFL history, that's true, with an elite owner. So elite that you guys are in this position right now because you just threw money and tried to front run a team. And yeah, it got you a Super Bowl, but what else has it got you? Like, you literally have almost been non-competitive since you won that Super Bowl. So I'm just saying, you can't just throw money at somebody, you know what I'm saying, and just throw like millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, look at the Todd Gurley situation. Like, you guys are still paying like 4 players that don't even play for you anymore. So I'm just keeping it real because that's what I do. And I just had to address that because I love Ramelia. He's awesome, but I still had to put that out there. I'm done.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'll address it too. Give me one. definitely have to wrap up soon here, but my son is like starting to erupt.
Uh-oh.
I can hear him like there. Real quick,
Hmm.
though, I'll just say that Justin Jefferson is better than Cooper Kupp. I
Yes.
don't know if people like Cousins, but they've been putting up huge numbers. I just think if Cousins had the defense that the Rams had, he could do every bit as good as Stafford. And the O line that they had when they were playing well. Keep in mind with Cousins, the only time he's really had a defense on the Vikings, they won that game down in New Orleans, and then unfortunately for them, had to play us where we had the number 2 D and the number 2 run game in 2019, and we
Hmm.
needed that run game because Jimmy was like Eric Kendricks had magnets on his fingers. Jimmy
Yep.
threw him an interception plus 2 more that he didn't have the magnets, but to hold on, but to get the ball thrown
Right.
to him, he had it
Thank
thrown to him
goodness, or it
2
would have
more
been
times,
worse.
dropped interceptions. So anyway, I would put Cousins and Justin Jefferson above anyone in Cooper Kupp, whoever their quarterback is, and yeah, for sure if it's Bennett. Good luck with drunk Purdy. That's what I call him. Because they think he's Brock Purdy, but he's got all these alcohol issues. So, and then as far as Aaron Donald, I don't think Aaron Donald's the number one DT anymore. I think Chris Jones on the Chiefs is better until proven
Oh, I
otherwise.
thought that he was just talking about on that team.
No, he said greatest force on defense in Aaron Donald. Like, in
Oh,
other words,
okay.
like
So
all
my bad.
defenses.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. See, I wasn't. Oh, okay. I thought
I'm
you
going
was
to
just talking
say
about on the
Chris Jones
Ravens.
for sure is better, and I think Bosa is starting to be in that conversation
Oh, yeah,
too.
absolutely. He is.
Um, and maybe even Micah Parsons, even though I don't think he's as good at edge as Bosa. Like I said, he's so versatile and so fast. He's definitely a force. Um, cool. Well, I think I need to go.
Gotcha.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Everybody, make sure you follow Peachy at Crystal Peachy B on Twitter. Follow Wayne Breezy too. He was here, kind enough to interact and join all of us, give his 2 cents. I appreciate that. And everybody be sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs, or just for now 500 to get that first level of monetization. I've already got the watch hours.
Yeah.
That's no problem. I just need, I think I probably rubbed people the wrong way. So not as many, we got a lot of hate watchers and not so many liking me personally enough to subscribe. But if you could see it in your heart to do it, it would be helpful. And I would appreciate it. It would help. You could
That would
hate
be
watch me more.
awesome.
If you like hate watching me, you got to do what it takes. Either way, love me or hate me, you got to subscribe, or I won't be here much longer. But yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. I'll just say peace and go Niners, and thanks, Crystal Peachy.
Bye.
You're the best.